What's going on, guys? Alex, and in today's video I want to show you exactly how to set up Google Ads for your walking tour business to get more bookings and keep your walking tour groups full and stay busy throughout the year. Not even in the summer or peak tour season, but throughout the year. We just took on a client in the travel space, and it is interesting. It is a very unique space when it comes to ads, marketing, SEO, social, but I just wanted to show you guys how to set up and structure your Google Ads campaigns to get people calling you, to get people messaging you, to get people booking tours for your walking tour business. By the way, if you need help with Google Ads, with marketing for your walking tour or just tour related company, click the link down below, book a call with me. I'm happy to take a look at your campaigns or answer any questions you might have about getting more bookings, getting more tours booked, and keeping busy throughout the entire year for your tour business. Book a call. We'd love to talk about it. In any case, let us jump right into the video. So I have two examples here that I'll show you before I just jump into the tutorial. For walking tours in Rome, you're always going to see Get Your Guide for almost every single search. You will always see huge either OTAs or just really big tour providers running ads, but thankfully you can still run ads as a smaller business, even as a personal tour guide. It's not that expensive, and it will get calls. It will get people booking your tour. So you have to keep in mind when someone does look for tours, there is this weird nuance in the tour industry, especially for walking tours, that people are looking for free walking tours. You will get a lot of clicks for this. You do have to exclude that keyword from your search, but unfortunately, it is going to come up a lot regardless of how you structure your campaign, only because this is what people are looking for in this space. And thankfully, in the walking tour space, SEO still works. It does not work in a lot of other spaces, but it does work. It does work well in walking tours and tours on its own. Social works incredibly well. Paid social, what you can do is run Google Ads. You can remarket, you can retarget to people on paid social. Works incredibly well. But for this specific tour, walking tours Rome, right? You got Rome walking tour, city tours Rome. This ad is not very good, and this ad doesn't even have any site links, but it is Get Your Guide. Very good brand, very popular brand. But there's still room here in this space to run your own ads and get bookings. For private walking tours Paris, you do pay a little bit more to book private tours, but there's there's a bigger margin there as well. And as you can see here, just this company has Paris private tours. Not mentioning walking tours. This is just best walking tours in Paris and full private experience. So this is more of an interesting search where for private tours, your competitors just still don't know what they're doing. Walking tours and private experiences not at all target someone looking for a private walking tour, nor does this one. But let me just jump right into how you can build out your own ads and start getting bookings, start getting calls for your tour business. So the first thing you want to do is sign into Google, assuming you have a Google Ad account. If not, you're going to want to go ahead and get signed up for that. From here, click on New Campaign. New Campaign. Now, you have a bunch of options here: sales, leads, website traffic. You can go ahead and create a campaign without a goals guidance, but most of you, the purpose of these ads is to get leads. So it'll just be easier, more straightforward if you go ahead and click on leads. Google does start by suggesting some conversion goals. You will need to set up conversion tracking on your back end, and for that, I recommend form fill outs and phone calls or text messages, however you want to set up, whatever you want to track as conversions. You could even track a dedicated booking as a conversion as well. Whatever you want as a conversion, however you want people contacting you is what you want to set up. And of course, we want to go with a search campaign. Do not go with display campaign, and also do not use a smart campaign. It will not work. It will just cost you a lot of money without getting the results that you want. And here, you don't need to set up any of these goals. It's not necessary at this point. And for campaign name, let's just go with Rome walking tours, right? Because I just looked it up. Very competitive area. Click Start New. Now, this you'll leave alone for now. This is something I'll show you how to change in about 10 or 15 minutes. It's a little bit further in the video. If you are in a hurry and you just want to get ads set up, you can go with clicks. Set a maximum cost per click bid limit. I'll show you where to look for this, but you do want to go with a manual bidding strategy if you are just starting out, and I'll show you how to set that up. It just takes some time to get to it as we work through setting up the campaign. And for this, never click this or your ads will be extremely limited. Click on Next. Here you want to opt out of these. This is a very low, it's just my test account, but this is this will have your ad showing in Gmail, Google Drive, places that you don't want your ad to be shown. And since we're not running display ads, we do not need to be on the display network. Now, when it comes to location targeting, this is tricky with travel, with tours, because you're going to have to choose where you want to target depending on your budget. You want to get people, there's two types of avenues of where you want to target people looking for tours, either in Rome or Europe themselves or planning their trip, right? So for this case, we can just add the United States since we want people planning their trip, looking for this service before they travel. They want to get everything booked. We do want to push private tours, so we want to get that booked. And for location options, normally you would go with presence, people that are regularly in, but since we want people that are looking for tours in Rome, presence or interest is a much better targeting option. Everything else you can leave here. You don't need to add audience segments right now. For more settings, you can add, we want to change your ad rotation. You want to set do not optimize so that Google rotates your ads indefinitely. This is kind of like an easy way to push in a split test. So we'll run 2 ads within every ad group. That's how you want to structure your ads. And if you choose it as optimized, prefer best performing ads, this is letting Google decide what's best performing as opposed to having you decide. So what's better for Google is not necessarily better for you as a tour operator. So you want to just go ahead and skip that and leave it as set it to do not optimize. Click on more settings. You can have an ad schedule, not necessary in the tourism space, but if you did want your ads to run a certain time, you can just choose the day and the time frame and then add a specific time and click on next. Click skip here. Now, this is where the keyword research starts. Let me just move this out of the way. So for this case, let's just go with private tours. Since we want to book private tours with Google Ads, private walking tour, right? That'll be our ad group name. And now to actually find the keywords, I'll show you really quick. So to find keywords, open Google Ads in a new tab, click on tools, and the keyword planner is going to open right here. Click on discover new keywords. Since we're targeting all of the US, it's pretty easy. Just go United States, which is right there. Click save, and then now click on Rome private walking tour. Get results. And you'll see just in the States for Rome private walking tour, we only have about, not too many, not a whole lot of monthly searches across the States, so we can just do walking tour Rome instead. And you can see that the free walking tour is much more popular. We've got food tours, we got walking tours. Unfortunately, and you really have to keep this in mind for your tour company, private walking tour Rome is probably one of the only keywords you'll need to use for this particular campaign. And we can see if there's any other options here. You can add a filter that it just contains private, right? Contains private, apply. Yeah, it's only that one, right? And you can see the range here. It's about $2.50 Canadian, $24, so about $1.75 US to about $20 US per click. Obviously, you want to be at the lower range of that, and I'll show you how to make sure that that's the case. So private walking tour Rome, that's all you really have here on Google Ads. And here is where you want to add your URL, so the website. So it would just be something like romewalkingtours.com/private tour. The reason why you see the private tour at the end there is because you never want to send paid traffic to your homepage. Your homepage represents your brand, but the landing page, so going to private tour, is the page that's designed to convert. It's designed to convert ad traffic into leads. So it's going to have calls to action. It's going to have buttons. It's going to have forms. It's solely designed. Its sole purpose is to get people that land on that page to actually convert, to actually fill out a form, call you, book a tour, something like that. And so that's why you never want to send traffic to your homepage if you can avoid it. For the display path, you would just have something like private tour, right? And the display path just shows here, just makes it a little bit more relevant, makes someone a little bit more likely to click through, increases click-through rate, relevance, increases conversion rate. Now with the headlines, again, this is a fairly straightforward ad that we're setting up. If you did offer a whole bunch of different tours, free tours, food tours, bus tours, it gets a little bit more complicated. This is where we add the headlines, and you have something like Rome private walking tour, right? Explore Rome's best sites, right? Join us on a walk through Rome, a private Italian experience, right? Just you and Rome. And you could add one more, something like private tours from $1.99. Pricing is always good. Pricing does incredibly well. Keep in mind that you're going to run 2 ads within the ad group, so you will duplicate this ad, and then you will pin this headline, and you'll also pin this headline in the second ad, so that every single ad looks like this, right? Which is really good. But you want to split test it, of course. So for the purpose of this video, we will just leave them unpinned. Now for description, right? You would say, join us on a beautiful private tour in Rome. Experience guides, tours all year, book now, right? Private walking tours in Rome from just, and keep in mind, guys, you'll want to spend a little bit more time on this than I am. You want to do competitive research, really focus on the copy. I'm just showing you as an example, right? Book today for a unique Italian experience. That's amazing. These are amazing. That's amazing copy, though. So you want to add the copy, descriptions, and headlines, right? You don't have to add all 4. You don't have to add all 15 headlines either. Just enough, right? Business name and logo. Make sure you verify your business on Google. Site links are things like, this is how it would look. You'd link to our private tours. You'd have a book a tour button, book a tour site link, our guide. So when someone goes through and sees the ad, they'll see your tours, they'll see your tour button, your tour booking button, they'll see your guides button, and they're going to click on this. They're a lot more likely to book if they're interested in what they see. You can exit out of that. You want to add callouts as well, and callouts is something like best walking tours Rome, a unique Rome experience. And that just adds extra text to the end of the ad if Google thinks it's going to help. If Google thinks it's going to be necessary, depending on what descriptions they use, that's all algorithmic. But you still want to go ahead and add callouts. You also want to make sure you add your phone number, and eventually Google will let you add images to a more aged account. From there, click on next. This is where you set your budget. Again, your budget just depends on how much money that you have for marketing, for acquisition. If you're under like $20 or $30 per day, let's say a $300 a month ad budget is probably not enough for Google, and it's going to be you'll have better luck investing that on social and other platforms. $500 is probably the lowest you want to go. $20 per day is really the best starting point for Google, even for walking tours. But this is my test account. I'll set a 0.01 so I don't get charged. Click on next. Google is now going to review the whole campaign. And once it's done, you can go ahead and click on publish. And I'll just show you guys a few more changes that you can make now. It's going to ask you to set up your Google tag. Make sure you go ahead and set that up. You want to be tracking conversions as accurately as possible to make sure that Google's getting the right data and that you're getting the right data. Exit out of that. Choose your campaign from here, right? So tour, Rome walking tours. Now, first thing you want to do is click campaigns. Click on this little gear icon here. And now we're going to change the bidding strategy to the appropriate bidding strategy. Click on bidding here, click change bid strategy, and then select the bid strategy directly. Set it to manual CPC, and then click save. Exit out of here. Click on ad groups, and that'll bring you to private walking tour ad group. Click refresh to bring up the max default CPC, which is right here. And if you remember here on the keyword ideas, we have a range of about $1.75 US to about 20 USD. So here we just set the max CPC to about $4. All right. And that's the most we'll pay per click, right? We don't want to pay more than that. Google can spend less than that, but we don't want to pay more per click. This is the best way to start structuring your campaign. And then the last thing you want to do is click on audience, keywords, and content. Search keywords, and I just change this to exact match or phrase match for tours. Either of these can work. If you have a higher budget, you can click phrase match, and if you're on a lower budget, go ahead and click exact match. And that's really it, you guys. This is exactly how you would get started setting up your Google Ads campaign for your walking tour business. It's a really good way to get tour bookings, really good way to stay busy throughout the year, especially in the off season if there's less people visiting your specific city. And I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did make it this far, as always, thank you for watching. You can click the link down below to book a call with me. I'm happy to take a look at your campaigns, answer any questions you might have about Google Ads, and of course, see if there is any opportunity to work together to get you more leads and tour bookings for your walking tour business. As always, you guys, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.